Hello, and welcome to another episode of my Interstellar Transport Company Let's Play. This is Northstar. For those new to the channel, welcome. For those returning, welcome back. For the newbies, a little about me. I'm disabled with long COVID, staying with family in a very not great situation right now. The weather is brutally cold in spring. Uh, it's not normally this cold this late in the year, but of course, this had to happen when the heat is not working and the family member I'm staying with is terrible about budgeting and always living paycheck to paycheck somehow, no matter how much anyone helps them. I swear there's something fishy there, but I have no ability to scrutinize finances. Um, this person. And yeah, I'm bundled up to nines, very hot tea here, and still cold. More cold sensitive than used my long COVID. I've always been cold sensitive my whole life, more than most people. I just had to tough through it because most people don't care. I did things like our meritocracy, and you had first, second year cadets get much, much less access to stuff like the good winter weather gear. I was in second year before medical disqualification screwed me over. For cough, I've had my whole life. I've had a lot of minor health issues, and I'm convinced my DNA sucks. Um, anyways, I sent out colony ships to all the remaining moons in the solar system because, like, there's one on the way to Titania, I believe. Oh, I would swear I can't double colony ship one that I've already sent, can I? I can. It doesn't seem to recognize that I already have, although if I check, uh, train Titania. Yeah, there's a colony ship on the way. It just hasn't arrived. Wouldn't make sense to pay to send another. Might get more people, but it's very expensive. I believe they just removed those people from Earth. Yeah, other things go on. I don't know if I mentioned this or this was happening with the last video. Why is that? That goes around faster than it should. Um, so I chatting with someone from a dating app, hoping that usually when people have long COVID, they just disappear, make excuses, talk less and less, and then disappear, just avoiding bullshit where they pretend it's just you know that they're busy and then just stop responding entirely rather than just admit to themselves and not me that they're just not talking to me because they don't want to date someone disabled. But sometimes people are better, and person I talked to, I just told about long COVID, and at least they said they didn't care. So, though some people have said that before and then just disappear and never been reachable again. So, um, but yeah, hopeful note, at least something good going on. Uh, anyways, let's unpause this for a sec. Let these colony ships head out. There's a lot of drones, which is what the AI companies are relying entirely on at this point for their cash flow. It looks like this one's sending water to Callisto. Uh, water on Callisto? Oh yeah, there's a substantial demand for it. Might be able to send an extra rocket there if I'm quick. Uh, let's see what I've already got on the way. Water, water, water. Why is the Messier 104 different than all the others? 7, 716. Oh, it just doesn't have any food? Oh, that's because it hasn't finished ordering. There we go, another one. It's actually going to arrive at the same time as that, unfortunately, but yeah. Looks like I'm sending food, water. Just better pay out for the water. Consumer goods, colonists. There's going to be some business travelers who want to go back to Earth. It's already got 17 million people, Callisto. Interesting. Yet still 35 tourists. Colonists want to go there, and 3 business travelers and a tourist. Alright, well, anyways. I founded this colony, so I haven't upgraded the spaceports up to 7 like I have elsewhere because same with Io. Just didn't make sense. Let's see. I don't think I found a Titan either. Yeah, it's got a large regional one. Let's look at all these maintenance sheds all over the place. Ideally, I would have figured out where I should put more and where less, but 3 large maintenance sheds and a pair of shell services is a reasonable starting. Alright. This is about to found a colony on Rhea. That's one of the moons of Saturn. Saturn has a ton of moons, but for whatever reason the game only represents these 2. They're upgrading the spaceport before there's even a colony is even visible. Takes a moment. Alright. But yeah, maintenance sheds. Office is outweighing demand, so my reputation is slowly improving. I do know that these service either ships that are on their way to the moons of Saturn or beyond, where Saturn happens to be the closest base location. But it's also worth noting that eventually you can build warp gates on gas giants, though usually Jupiter would be closer than Saturn, so I'm not even sure what purpose Saturn serves unless you're trying to get goods from like Uranus. Apparently, yeah, you can do warp gates from Uranus and Neptune as well. That'll eventually, I think, non-FTL capable ships to travel to other systems, or maybe they still have to be capable. I have never figured that out because it's very in-game tech. The gates, building a gate network. A slight decrease in production for food on Earth, most irrelevant. Produces so much it's probably periodically stopping food production just because it's reached the cap, is my guess. But yeah, I don't really want to mess, obviously, with, and I don't have the tech. Oh, well, I might have the tech now. I was going to say to building colonies, interstellar ones, but, oof, I have way more research than I thought. Okay, time for the Colchin Jheel. And save up for cargo efficiency 1. Eventually, that'll require retooling all my ships, but or I could do research and cargo protocols too. It's cheaper. Yeah, it's more cost effective. So research station 4, level 4, all that. I got 3 level 3 research stations. It's cutting substantially into my profits, so I'm not sure. So we're doing level 1s, provide the most research points per cost. I might just only do level 1s later when stuff develops more. See how much income I'm bringing, how much I can afford to invest in research, even at decreased cost effectiveness. No available gate on Mars. What? It's not common that happens. Earth and Mars are very close right now, though. So once in a long while. Despite the 3 shuttle services. Yeah, this is never going to get upgraded organically. I'll pay to upgrade it. Improve my reputation slightly. Whatever it's worth. And the Colchin Jheel, I think. No, it doesn't need. It's only interstellar stuff. That spaceport size 8. No, there's literally nothing in the game that requires size 9. Some things require size 10 to produce, though. Which is a minor benefit, being able to produce some ships on Mars instead of Earth. And eventually use Mars as a jump-off point. But yeah, more gates doesn't hurt. I suppose. A large regional spaceport on Mars. I don't see any green gates anywhere. What's going on with green? I'm red. Blue is... They don't seem to have... Their net worth is less than mine. Okay. I think they've basically gone bankrupt. I don't know how they're even... They're not even making research points. Did European space lines just go bankrupt entirely? They have no income. A little bit of expenses. I'm not even sure what for. Maybe a research... They're not making research stations. They must have mothballed. What the heck is going on with European space lines? Just disappeared off the scene entirely. It's just red and blue now. I mean, Alpha Transportation is doing fine. Their net worth is probably just from having subsidized a colony, and that technically adds net worth, even though anyone can serve it. Sit. Alright, Titania. Maybe they overspent on the... That's Rhea. Titania is the moon of Uranus? Yeah. Maybe they overspent on surface side infrastructure and stuff. I don't know what they're gonna do. They have to come back somehow. Maybe they're just waiting for conditions to change before they buy some ships on credit. Not worthwhile right now. I know companies can go bankrupt and reappear as new ones that have nothing, but I haven't seen that happen yet here with green. Right, 3 and 2. Uranus is way out there, so no one else can repair ships that break down on the way to Uranus. Except, I mean, sometimes Neptune may be a little further, but or Saturn closer if it's partway there. Spaceport on Venus has been upgraded. Oh. But the Earth government is still only level 4. Yeah, I didn't do the Mercury colony. That's why I got all these gates here, right? Guess I'll pay to upgrade upgrade the Mercury spaceport a couple times to invest my reputation in Mercury. Well, I'm gonna eventually use bigger ships like the Colchin Jheel. Triton, that's the moon of Neptune? Yep. It's sell now, I missed that. So I got an office to preserve my reputation. It's hangers because I'll need them eventually. Get them before any mines appear. Shuttle services because they'll eventually be reusable. Spacecraft. They are actually, I think, more profitable, like the Colchin Jheels, than the drones. It's a much bigger investment of resources to get enough Colchin Jheel. North government upgraded the Venusian spaceport again. Well, now it's an actual spaceport instead of surface port. Don't have any rockets going to Europa. It's about time I switch that. Or Titan. Alright, let's see. Europa has a few unmet demands, not many. It's also got level 7 ports. Titan's got more in the way of unmet demands. So I should set some rockets there. There's no demand for colonists there though. What? One day at a time. Europa. This is gonna be reusables now. All right. You know what? I'm gonna delete the route so that I don't. If the route's making a loss, I won't have it hidden under previous profits. There we go. Oof. One sec. Fingers are cold here. Alright, what things does Europa need? Looks like food and water. The water availability is such they'll eventually become self-sufficient for that, so I should emphasize food more, even though water's more profitable. Consumer goods, of course, and there's still some need for machinery. fun. There's no dilithium mine on Europa. Actually, I expect there would be. Where's dilithium? Xenogenetic, weaponry, stellarium, goods, medicine, business, colonist. Dilithium fuel. Yeah, let's see. Sources dilithium crystals are Titan in Europa. The dilithium crystal mines are in Titan. Not ready to do service there yet. So Europa, even though it's got dilithium on it, right now, yeah, what's the price for dilithium crystals back on Earth? Oof, pretty penny. They combine water and dilithium crystals to make fuel. Anyways, they'll send food and goods and a tiny bit of water and passengers to Europa. I guess I could bring dilithium crystals back if I were to subsidize a mine here. If I do a level 1. Where is it? Dilithium crystal mine. Research project industry subsidization. I already did that. Oh, I need to have researched warp travel. Oh well. That'd be a big research investment, not worth making it right now. Would it? Warp theory. Yeah, it's fairly lucrative. Alright, I'm just gonna... I guess I'll build the dilithium crystal mine on Europa if the government doesn't do it in a second, but... Earth Europa. Next top demand of food. Machinery. Definitely need that. Water. Consumer goods, luxuries, medicine. Any passengers happen to be available. And Europa. Let's see. Any dilithium crystals, assuming there's demand. Passengers. That should be it. There's no rare resources, raw materials in Europa, so yeah. Dilithium crystals and passengers, the only things. However, I haven't bothered with hub and spoke stuff yet. Well, I may eventually need to that. Food machinery. Let's see. This just allows me to double check everything by water. Of course, passengers. Cool. All right. Time for one of these no Colchin Jheels. They're bigger than the Colchin Fishalls. Same amount of loading days, so they're more efficient that way. More fuel efficient, more fuel in total because they're bigger and they last longer. Longer ship lifetime. It's distant, so stuff won't be arriving that often. Food, like I said, a little water, since they'll eventually go obsolete. Some passengers. Oh yeah, machinery, that's right. Water machinery equal measure, the both eventually go obsolete. Machinery actually undercuts the water. It's worth noting. For sure the water demand will be met first, but not entirely. More food. Cool. As for Callisto, much harder time being self-sufficient for water. Although their habitability 32.9 as opposed to 21, they'll be more self-sufficient for food. So greater emphasis on water. They can eventually carry raw materials. I probably should put a tiny bit of hopper storage in that Jheel. But it's me a while, even if I start out with them mining on Europa, till there'll be enough stored up for it to really be worth. Especially competing with AI, we'll see what happens. It doesn't have big population, so production be very small. There's always 6 crystals on Titan, for instance, which has a bigger population and higher. Yeah, it takes a long time to produce them. Such tiny populations. All right. So still. I'm just going to delete Earth Titan. So I'll probably start reusable soon there. And stop reordering rockets to Callisto. So I'm going to start up a reusable route very, very soon. I don't like doing a lot of passengers. I don't know if there'll be much demand, but, well, meh. It's the prices on machinery versus water's more lucrative. Okay. I guess the next one will have a little hopper storage. Yeah, a little bit till I get that belt. Focusing on Europa because it's closer to Earth than Titan, Saturn's moon, and Callisto actually has higher gravity, so it takes more fuel to get there and back. Plus, there's nothing as lucrative as dilithium on it. Io spaceport was upgraded, wasn't it already? Oh, it was tiny. Europa would also have to upgrade the spaceport, so I'm delaying. I don't think there's going to be dilithium mines built. So I'll build a small one. The AI probably upgrade it. Yeah, 0.03 a week. Dilithium crystals. Sorry, it's cold here. A spaceport on Venus has been upgraded by Alpha Transport. Size 6. It's getting up there. Spaceport on Rhea. Size 4 now. Medium office in Callisto? Alpha Transport didn't even have that. Jeez. Yeah, you can see the reputation of different companies. Yeah, they were at 97% because... Oh, anyways. Dilithium crystal mine on Europa takes quite a bit to produce a usable volume. Rhea's been upgraded again. Something about Mars gates. I guess I'll just at least one more to avoid another message like that. Still somewhat cheap gates here, and Mars is going to be a huge destination, so I'll just do one more maintenance hangar. Shed. Make sure no ships lose chance to get maintenance. Alright. Another dilithium crystal mine in Europa. Production of dilithium crystals have now reached 0.31 a week. So every 3 weeks there's one, and they have 2 in reserve. Still not nearly enough to keep the refinery on Earth going, but it's getting there. Alpha Transport built an office in Titan finally. believe that different companies have different personalities, so I guess this was survival of the fittest, that the other AI company went bankrupt, and it still adds build slots to planets, so it's still beneficial to me. As long as Alpha Transport doesn't also end up bankrupt somehow, it'll be alright. Huh. I was now at level 6 because of Alpha Transport upgrading it. Their reputation certainly benefits from it. European Space Lines is losing their rep everywhere. Gotta still have a decent rep on Earth, right? They have an office? Yeah, 77%. 77.27. 0.16. Yeah, they're still losing their reputation on Earth. Where they probably have an office. When they'll go bankrupt. Alright. I'll upgrade this mine. The larger mines are actually more cost effective than the small. I was hoping the AI might do it for me, but they didn't do it with that one at least. Same with this. There we go. 16 crystals in reserve. Now, I can transport a few back. In a sec. Wait a little longer to order up that ship. Already made 48,000 off the Europa route. Huh. Subsidies are popping up everywhere because Alpha Transportation's drone network is now overextended. Titania's spaceport. I forget where Titania is. That's moon of Uranus. Size 5. Train. Oh, you can zoom to it if you click on the message. That's new to me, even. Many of these spaceports are not yet big enough I'd want to service them. Anyways, Rhea completely out of consumer goods. Almost. Yeah, without consumer goods, the planet won't attract many colonists. It's not like the people die, though, so... Not the biggest problem. Just mean fewer people going to Rhea, the fact there's nothing there. Some of these have got to have goods on them. Looks like the AI is focused on food and water. Ah. They built a Cune, so they are returning to conventional transportation as their drone network's overextended now. And there's, you know, of course, Cunes are not the best, but they probably don't have the tech for a Jheel. They haven't been running deep on beelining that route like I have. Just doing cargo protocols now to make my ships a little more cost effective. Alright, 6, because it's such a long distance. Europa gets its first dilithium crystal transport away. Yep, production increases as the population grows on Europa and the planet develops, installs machinery. There's still non-trivial demand for water. Machinery demand is slowly getting met. And that there's only a finite amount they ever install. So there's 29 here. There's... Yeah, in the long run, there's probably actually more demand for machinery than water. For become self-sufficient. Alpha Transport just built their first office on Venus. I'm actually slowly running out of reserve currency with how much I've been investing in new colonies and stuff. New ships. And tech. I do run a profit when I don't make a major investment, though. Anyways. Do want to make sure this colony doesn't run out of water. That would lead to a population crash. As long as they get enough food and water, they'll be fine. There's my Jheel. Yeah, is doing Kuhn to Europa. Yeah, they really should have shawls at least for the extra speed. Kuhn's are only 0.04 speed. Not great. The spaceport train's been upgraded. Subsea for food to 10. Yep. If you look at the profitability of Blue, it's not actually very profitable. Their income has skyrocketed. Past spikes, or their net worth is still way above mine. If their cash in hand is, well, it's catching up. Security stations on Titan and Callisto shut down for weaponry. Oh, it's that nonsense where they build one, it instantly shuts down. Oh well. They build another. Piracy will get to be a problem if weaponry is not delivered to Callisto soon. Let's see, there is a receiving center here for Blue. Food demand is definitely being met. Yeah, one of the things is if I meet enough the water demand, drones won't send if there isn't more than a certain percent surplus or deficit. So this will mean that the AI stops saying drones spread water. I can monopolize the water trade, which will be, you know, it's a smaller unmet demand, so it's easier to get to that point. That's another reason I did that, even though machinery is a little more lucrative. Alright, time to upgrade the spaceport on Callisto and get a gate out of the deal. And it needs weapons. It's already running producing enough food to be self-sufficient. Oh, I can build a level 1 research center. So it just needs water. Runs a slight deficit in consumer goods and weapons. Alright. Delete this old route. New route. Stop. Earth. Stop. Callisto. Let me save the game. It's been a little. I'll write both of these because I otherwise could accidentally load the wrong one. And 46 minutes, huh? Okay, I've been going for a while here. This program will eventually respond. Just takes a moment. There we go. All right. So let's see. I said Clistone doesn't need food anymore or machinery. They need water. Or no, overall. Goods and weapons. Passengers. What would they produce in return? Or bring back? Because all these planets actually provide much back. They must be running a big trade deficit. Raw materials someday. I'd have to do hopper storages for that though. So nothing really that I'd want to actually. There's no raw material mines. I'm not going to subsidize one. It doesn't make sense, and the moon's more profitable route by far. Closer, shorter. Less in the way of, I think, both fuel costs because it's a smaller planetoid, and cargo maintenance times because it's shorter route. Okay, there's a lot of passengers though, surprisingly large. I mean, the population's 39 million and growing, so passengers are kind of the biggest thing. I guess maybe they have a lot of businesses that aren't manufacturing. They're like, service industry kind of stuff there. Yeah, there's nothing to pick up except passengers. As for Earth, accept demand of water, goods, weapons, passengers. It's very self-sufficient on food. Well, I guess I could do a little food for the moment because it hasn't actually met its. And occasionally, if there's things go bad and there's refugees, they go in the food storage, actually, not passenger. Which is. I'd gladly see them like normal passengers if I have the capacity. Alright. Jheel. With just a single food, and that's probably shouldn't even do that, but maybe. There's a lot of demand for passengers here. So I'll put 9 passenger, and run more frequent routes. They do need water, but not a ton. Their main demand is actually goods. Let's see, is 10 to 7 a reasonable ratio? No, it's even more biased in favor of goods than that. Something like 4 to 1. Let's see. 140 would be twice that. That would be twice that. There we go. It's exactly a 4-to-1 ratio, which is almost exactly right. Long run, though, the current unmet demand is more in favor of water than that. But I'll try and monopolize the goods demand. Thinking long term here because it's expensive to refit a Jheel. Has a high upfront cost and you're taking a lot of cargo capacity out of use for a long time. So if you're just making minor adjustments, it's not worth it. You'd have to be doing a major retool. Yeah, well, it's business and tourist passengers close to Earth. That's where the money is mostly. Subsea ended somewhere. Subseas ended. Eventually things will stabilize. Oh shoot, I didn't actually do any weapon storage on that last ship. Oh, I may have overdone the goods slightly for the early unmet demand. I might want slightly more passengers than that. Cool. Investing heavily in the route. Drones be cheaper. Upfront costs, although I think it's less profitable because they still use fuel and stuff. I've checked before where I had nothing but drones and I was still paying a ton for fuel and cargo maintenance. And they're slow. Well, the large ones are actually comparable to Jheels. I think they have very high cargo maintenance and they use a lot of fuel, so. It's probably because they land directly on the surface rather than using spaceports. No matter how big the spaceport is on planet. Alright, 4 ships on Earth Callisto and only 2 on the Earth Europa. 2? No, 3. Okay. Europa is not yet self-sufficient for water, though that's definitely improving. Still some need for food. Machinery. Of course, always will be for goods. And 24. All this. Yeah, even though the water's still improving, be a bit. Right. Duplicate this class. Jheels one more time. There's gonna be lots of transport Dilithium crystals. They'll actually pay for delivery of those? That makes no sense. For a producer. The prices for dilithium crystals have gone down on Earth. They'll eventually get very low when there's tons of fuel stored. But the low cost of fuel effective cost of fuel because it pays for itself with dilithium crystal prices going back up somewhat. Will then allow lots of transportation, interstellar transport. The crystals are rare. Expensive actually. Maybe that's effectively the cheapest fuel anyways. Having a bit of fuel stockpile is necessary so ships don't arrive and find there's no fuel for them. Callisto is no longer running a weapons shortage. Is that drones? Was that? I think that's not. I don't think any of my ships have weapons. Oh, 9. No, they do. I'm providing plenty of that. And a little bit of food, and so I'll write down this food demand to no deficit anymore. Take advantage of the subsidy while it's there. So provide luxuries, medicine, consumer goods. Should add these all up. It's actually more than 4 to 1 in favor of that type of storage. There's more in demand and water, so we see Earth, 5 tourists, 5 business travelers. Duplicate this one more time. Have to cut down on weapons transportation soon. There's always so much demand for that. I could upgrade the security station. Ensure that when the Earth station is way over here, if the ship breaks down, they could still occasionally suffer privacy, but mainly it would increase demand for weapons. Alright, let's just upgrade this. Capitalism, incentivizing you to expand the police force to an excessive size. Of course, it was orange before on screen, so maybe it wasn't. It was warning me it wasn't enough transportation. I mean, enough protection for the transportation. I don't know, maybe there's a capacity issue too. It's well protected now, though. Larger stations also have a larger possible stockpile of weapons. So you get economies of scale, transferring more, we get more ships. Oh geez, I'm not even keeping up with the expand demand. Let's just keep expanding service to Callisto for now. Let's see, Europa's food demand's filling up. Should also check that route. Let's see. Some water, some dilithium crystals go back, machinery, passengers' food. Still some. Yeah, the dilithium crystals are still building up. Alright. Guess I'll actually will do up to 12 GLs. Oh, they built a weaponry factory in Callisto? Shoot, that undermines my whole transporting weapons there. It does increase demand for luxury goods, then I have to get rare resources here, which those are produced on the moon to set up a route between Luna and Callisto. Which just does rares. Guess that's might as well do that now. New route. Add stop. Luna. Stop. So that's one of the reasons I'm not rushing out of the solar system. Well, sorry, I should explain. One of the reasons is I want the populations to grow enough that, say, routes between the moon and other places, direct ones, are profitable. And it seems to reach a certain ratio of people who live on like Earth versus everywhere else. So the overall solar system population has to grow for the lunar one to grow. All right. What am I doing for time? Oof, an hour. Be quick with this because I'm going to end this video soon. Alright, the moon produces a food surplus and, of course, rare materials. So food and rares out. And raws, but there's no demand for that in Callisto, which can actually produce those themselves. Callisto is self-sufficient for food. Okay, so rare resources and passengers. That's really the only things. I don't think there's weapons stuff on the moon, though. Maybe there is. Is there a weapons factory? Yeah. Of course. Very sure the weapons factory on Callisto can meet the entire demand of the security station. Yep. Alright, well this is a pretty simple route then. Rare materials and passengers. So things are actually produced on Luna that this is passengers back. Callisto, it's just rare materials and passengers. Cool. It's going to be a ship that's almost entirely dry climate control cargo for rare materials. But, some passengers, because this is a low volume enough route, I can't run a ton of ships, so the infrequent transportation means there'll be time for that to build up between. I'm not sure there's enough demand even for that though. 170.10. Alright. Luna Callisto reusables, but it has to be produced on Earth because the moon doesn't have a big enough spaceport to produce a Jheel. We need size 10. So the ship will actually get produced here. It'll make a route trip to the moon once only. From there on, it'll go between Moon and Callisto. There is colonists who want to go from the moon to Callisto, so don't blame. Callisto is a more habitable area. It's got some actual gravity. It's worth mentioning. A natural disaster in Titania killed 4 million people, half the colony. Lovely. That's a big deal. Disasters can happen. They usually kill like around 4 million, but on somewhere so not populous, that's huge. Whatever. Nothing I can do about it. Things happen. Oh, spaceport is now size 7. Now involved in my own, I could send Jheels here. Cool. Ganymede is also size 7. My office is slowly improving that. Sorry, my reputation. So improve my reputation. But yeah, cannot be up to 330 rares and stockpile for the weaponry factory. And then the one ship I have, which still hasn't, carries 170 at a time. How many a week could Callisto potentially use? 5.5 rare materials a week. It's not a huge demand, yeah. Probably good with that one ship. They're up for now. Just worth noting, both spaceports are barely big enough for the Colchin Jheels, but they are big enough. Both size 7. I have to retool these to eventually stop providing weapons, though. Oh, already need to. The Earth Callisto rock ships. This one doesn't need changing, nor this, but everything else. How it's more than 5-to-1 bias in favor of goods now with Callisto. Though it's being monopolized by the AI mostly. Still a little unmet demand. I can push him out of that market, make him do water. Get rid of the food while I'm at it, actually. Refugee things are so unlikely and so rare. I'll increase passenger stuff while I'm at this. So 32, 136, and 12. Oh, I did not mean to. That was a misclick. Just trying to refit and I accidentally duplicate a ship. That's lovely. This one is going to be the wrong. Once it's produced, it instantly needs refitting. Oh well. short money, so that's obnoxious. Small maintenance shouldn't. Jeez, they really don't have much surface infrastructure. They're doing that now. Protocols. Improve my bottom line. Particularly important now. It's getting really tight. Alright, now we're in 11 minutes. It's not terrible. Just enough time to refit the ship, and I'm probably going to save and end this video. It's cold. I need to warm up a little. Get some more hot liquids. Guess I could just pause the recording, but it's approaching the end anyways. Alright. Day 1 refit. This is money down the drain, unfortunately. Oh well. It refits on Earth, which is a busy spaceport. Alright, we're calling this subsea on Ganymede. Local authorities to upgrade on Io to a large rare resource mine. That's right, there are rare resources in Io. They're not being produced. Could run them from Io instead of the moon, but there's also occasional passengers who make the trip each way, like tourists and business passengers to Luna. It's profitable, even just for that. Another weaponry factory in Callisto? That's 2 now, isn't that? Well, I mean, that means more demand for rares and a bigger storage capacity. So cool. Have to start transporting from Io soon. There's actually hardly any built up in storage there. My drone's doing it. It's hard for it to get enough to fix. I'd have to do wait for full load kind of things. Transport is a lot of operations in Callisto, so they're trying to outcompete me there. Let's see, I've got all these gates on Ganymede. I really should get some actual service going there. Ganymede and Titan, because that was the other place I paid for a lot of upgrades. Ganymede, Titan, and Mercury. Alright. We'll have to set up new routes there soon. If I can remember next video. Well, until then. Let's see. That was SP. And oh, I should do SP2 just to be sure. I think it keeps reordering. Wish you folks all the best. Take care of each other. Be kind to yourselves. May you always find a guiding star to lead you home. Until next time. Oop. Accidentally unpaused. Great. Gotta save again now. That was SP2, that's SP1. Until next time, adieu, and best luck.